Hey, all right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba YAHWEHSHAWAII Ba I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching His word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba YAHWEHSHAWAII. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMSHAWAII, coming to you with another, sit-down video. I just got here to the Mazabat, waiting on a brother. And I was just watching a couple of videos I was actually watching, and one particular video I was watching, this female, I can't remember her name right now, but she did she was doing like some type of seminar on post-traumatic slave, syndrome, man. The effects of what slavery has done to our people. When you look at what slavery have done to our people, man, it really destroyed our people, man. And that's all 12 tribes, but especially the tribes of Judah, the Negro, the so-called Negro here in America today. All right. When you see what happened to our people, and you see the ramifications of slavery, and that's another thing. What is a ramification? So I'm gonna look that up real quick. But first, I got a real quick scripture. This is Isaiah 47:6. It says, "I was wroth with my people." Okay, this is the Most High speaking through Isaiah. And this is Salakia. I lost my place where I was at. Salakia, bear with me. Man, Isaiah 47. I know it's at 47. Yep, this is Isaiah 47 and Isaiah 47:6. It says, a matter of fact, let me start at 5. It says, "Sit thou silent." Matter of fact, I'll start at the top. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." That virgin daughter of Babylon is America. And the people that run this daughter of Babylon are the Edomites, chiefly the tribe of Amalek, the so-called Jew out of the nation of Edom. All right, but you got a whole host of Edomites still here. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Right, because this place hasn't been overthrown by any other nation. As America is a world power and has covered the whole earth in her military, with her military bases, and is going to these different nations, and she's waged war on these different nations, but no other nation has ever waged war on America. So that's why she's called tender and delicate. And when this thing goes down, this Third World War, and goes down, it's no longer going to be called tender and delicate. These other nations, they're going to occupy America, man. It says, "Take the millstone and grind mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Right, and thy nakedness is her sins that she's committed, and her shame, all the wickedness she's done. And not only to these other nations, but chiefly to the nation of Israel. A lot of these sins are coming out. And in that video, I had heard, when she was speaking of things that I had maybe heard in passing or in passing of reading, but never really understood the scale, because what Esau has done, what he did to our people in slavery, and it goes beyond measure. It goes beyond just the judgment of us having to have a nation over us, man. This devil, he took advantage of him being over us. He took more than just will. He did whatever he felt he wanted to do. In that particular case, she was speaking about the medical industry, and this doctor, I think his name was like William Sims or something like that, William or Robert Sims, one of those two. And he's a physician, so-called physician, of high esteem. And she said they got statues and all kind of edifices of this guy, and he basically called him the father of medicine. But how did he become such a so-called good physician? And really, he was never a good physician. He was just a demon. He was just a demon, and he became known for certain things, i.e. these spoons or these forceps that's used to open a vaginal canal. But how he did that was he basically what's the word I want to use? It's a scientific word. It's basically this nigga, he used Jake as guinea pigs, man. He used the so-called Negro and Negro man and child as guinea pigs for his so-called physician testing, man. His physician testing, man. And that's just wicked, man. You know? It's one thing to have us as slaves and use us for your gain by you making us do all the physical labor. Man, it's another thing that your industries that you have throughout this country that people actually take serious, like the healthcare industry. It was built on a bunch of lies and robbery, witchcraft, and murder, man. You know? So that's your shame being noted. Even in Obadiah, it said how your hidden things sort up. You know, because a lot of that stuff is hidden. You know, Jake ain't reading. A lot of the average Jake, he's not reading he's not reading a book. You know, he's not reading a book and delving into this kind of stuff, man. Hey, but we here at Great Millstone, we the men of the Lord, we're doing that. We're delving into you Edomites' past and the things that you've done. You understand? So it says take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord, Yahweh Ba In of hosts, is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, which the Lady of Kingdoms, she's preferred. America is preferred over all these different kingdoms. You know? It says, verse 6, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Right, and you devils, you didn't show us any mercy, man. And that particular video that I was speaking of was I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the title. It's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Joe Leary, okay, Portland State University. All right, and or Joy. I'm sorry, Joe. Her name is Joy Leary. All right, and she was going in about, you know, the effects. You know, she's a woman, so obviously she pinpoints a lot of issues that affect the Negro woman or the black woman. But hey, that shit affected all the Jakes, man. Judah Benjamin Levi, but the men, women, and children. And this devil didn't show us no mercy, man. So what you think is going to happen to you devils when you get into slavery, man? We're not going to show you no mercy, man. James 2:14, it says, not James 2:14, Salaki. Yeah. James 5:14. Let me see what that says. No, that's not it. I thought it was James 2:14. Salakia. Yeah, James 2:13. Salakia. It says, For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment. Right. You Edomites, you didn't show us any mercy in slavery, man. And especially, she was also speaking about the convict leasing system that was created after the ending of slavery in 1865. They came up with a convict leasing system to basically re-enslave Jake, man. And what they were doing, they were getting Jake thrown in prison for the littlest offenses of vagrancy. If you ain't have a job, you know, if you were stealing to eat, you know, because Jake ain't had no job. Jake ain't have no resources. When we got let out of hardcore slavery, it was just, that's exactly what that was. The slaves, they call it the big break, you know, which they basically turned us out like cattle, man. Like you turn cattle or something, you know, and we were left to fend for ourselves. All right. So when this devil did that, you know, he created what now be called the prison industrial system, But really, it's called the convict leasing system because the prison system today is still being leased out to these different companies, Fortune 500 companies, to create their raw material, man. Chiefly, I know for a fact that all the army uniforms, they're made in prisons, man. It's called prison industries, man. You know, they might have changed the name, but it's called prison industries, man. And then let me see if I can find something on that, since we're speaking about it. Yeah, prison industries. Okay. Yeah, prison industries is a term for the prison industrial complex derived from the military industrial complex in the 1950s. It describes attributions of the rapid expansion of the U.S. inmate population to political influences of private prison companies and businesses that supply goods and services to the government and prison agencies for profit. And so a lot of these military uniforms, they're being made by inmates in prison, man, for little or no money, man. All right. And so that prison prison leasing system, or convict leasing system, Salakia, convict leasing, the convict lease system, all right. It says convict leasing was a system of penal labor practiced in the southern United States and overwhelmingly targeted African American men, just like the system does today. All right, convict leasing providing prisoners labor to private parties such as plantation owners and corporations. The lease was responsible for feeding, clothing, and housing the prisoners. And in the convict leasing system, she said that 25% of the men, you know, and boys, because they lock little children up and place them in prisons right along with grown ass men. All right, they would do that. And 25% of them would die. You know, so what kind of mercy is that? It wasn't enough that you had us in slavery in America for over 250 something years of hardcore slavery, but then you created a convict leasing system, and you just basically put our people into that shit, shuffled our people right into that shit, man. You know, and she had mentioned that, like, you know, during the hardcore slavery, the masters or the plantation owners, they had more invested in the life of a slave, man, because the longer that slave lived, the more profit the slave master would earn, man. You know, which a lot of these so-called slave masters, man, they were basically servants to subject to the borrower, because they had to take loans out, big ass loans out, to create these large plantations, and they had to pay them loans back, man. You know, and if they couldn't pay those loans back, they would go in default, and then the lien holder, which were these banks ran by the so-called Jew, okay, would do what? They would take that shit and whatever, you know, do whatever they felt. You know, so we were just like today. They don't call you property straight out, but we are property, man. It's just and not only are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans are property, but even you Edomites, man. The devil got y'all in slavery too. Your slavery just a little more lenient than what we go through, but you still in slavery, man. You know, and just showing you that this devil, you know, his perpetual hatred for us, and on top of that, you know, his you know, furthering our affliction, man. You know. And he didn't show us no mercy, man. This is Ezekiel 35:5. Ezekiel 35:5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, and that the reason why we went into slavery was for our iniquities, for our sins, man. Well, when that time was up, you furthered it, man. You know? Why? Because you're perpetual hatred for us, man. You didn't tell us who we were, which is the Israelites. You didn't tell us that the land of Israel belonged to us. You found your niche, and you threw us into slavery, man. You kept us in slavery, man. When Columbus and the rest of those so-called adventurers, which they're nothing more a bunch of thieves and liars and devils and murderers, came over to the Americas, you knew that those people that were living in the land were the Israelites, man. Just like you knew the people that you was putting in hardcore slavery and dragging in to drag over here to the Americas from Europe and from Africa, West Africa. You knew that we were the Israelites. You knew that, just like you know it today. All right? But you want to perpetuate this lie, you know, that the so-called white man is a Jew, that he's the only biblical nation that's on our earth. Everybody else is just hired by happenstance, man. That's some bullshit, man. Straight up bullshit. All right? And we know it. You know? And so the Lord is going to have retribution against you, man. This is the reason why we're standing up across the four corners of the globe in every major city and small town, preaching the word of Yahweh Ba In Transit, chanting down Babylon, man. You know? And this man's a devil, man. This man's a motherfucking devil, man. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick sit down while, you know, I was waiting for the brother. You know, Lord willing, he's on his way. He's getting a little closer. And yeah, man, you know, just want to do a quick lesson on something that was on my spirit, man. You know, hey, this man, you're going to pay for this, Esau. Jeremiah 30 and 16, Revelation 13, 9 and 10, you know. The whole scriptures, man, speak about 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6, seeing it as a righteous thing to recompense to those that trouble you, man. So that's payback, man. So Yahweh Ba In Transit, he's gonna recompense that to you devils, man. All right. Hey, so with that, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba In Transit, YahWHAWAII Ba In Transit, Wahaba Krakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and in sincerity and for ruling well. And salutation to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Hey, shalom.